Saan naman kayo nakakita? Constitutional body, inuutusan isubmit ang audit report. Hindi pa nga tapos. With all due respect, Madam Chair, may I request the resource speaker to comment on her intention about her statement. In other words, this representation wished to be clarified when the Vice President made the statement. Intensyon ba ng ating Vice Presidente na ibahagi o hindi ibahagi sa publiko ang resulta ng nilalaman ng audit report patungkol sa kontrobersyal na 125 million na confidential fund? Nonetheless, Madam Chair, I understand that the Vice President already expressed her intention not to answer this question. Thus, please allow this representation to shift to the COA. May I request the COA to give his comment to this statement of the Vice President.
Ascom Juliano.
Madam Chair, pwede po pakiulit po yung question.
Okay, you may repeat the question. Hindi po natin isasama sa yung 5 minutes.
During the press interview of the Vice President in the Senate on August 22, 2024, she made a remarks, saan naman kayo nakakita? Constitutional body, inuutusan to submit fraud audit. Hindi pa nga tapos. Madam Chair, without going to the letters of this communication,
Could you please first manifest what you have in your possession?
with me is a copy of the letter of the Office of the Vice President, signed by Attorney Zuleka T. Lopez, Undersecretary and Chief of Staff, addressed to Honorable Gamaliel A. Cordoba, Chairperson, Commission on Audit, Quezon City. This is dated August 21, 2024. Madam Chair, this is composed of 4 pages, and I lament that I do not have material time to go over this letter by the letters. Nonetheless, I wish to manifest that the substance of this letter is an opposition to the subpoena that was issued by Congress. If I may read, we are of the position that the subject subpoena should not be complied for the following reasons. If I may continue, Madam Chair.
Yes, please proceed.
Among the issues that were raised, one is the violation of the principle of separation of power. Second is violation to due process. And third is the confidential nature of the fund. Madam Chair, I wish to manifest my comment to the issues that were raised in this letter. First, the principle of separation of power is not absolute. This is subject to exception. As a matter of fact, we call it the system of check and balances. And that is the very reason why the Congress has the oversight power, and that is to make sure that the laws enacted, including the appropriation laws, and to be specific, the GAA 2022, the source of the confidential fund, is properly implemented. If I may share, one of the landmark cases about oversight power is the Abacada Guro party list. There are 3 consequences of oversight power. One is congressional scrutiny. Two is congressional investigation. And three is legislative supervision. With all due respect, by congressional scrutiny, without necessarily conducting an inquiry in aid of legislation, the Congress may request information and report from other branches of the government. Similarly, it can recommend and pass resolution for consideration of the agency involved. Madam Chair, with respect to the violation of due process, I humbly believe that we are all witnesses in today's hearing. We are in fact catering the right to due process. A number of the esteemed members of the House propounded questions already, but our Vice President maintained his position not to address the question concerning confidential fund. But speaking about due process, I humbly submit that notice was given. This is a budget briefing, and ample opportunity to explain was even accorded. It is my humble submission, Madam Chair, that contrary to the letter, we did not violate due process. As a matter of fact, we catered due process. Finally, Madam Chair, they raised the confidential nature of the fund. Ito po'y tanong na nais kong iwanan sa mga kapwa natin Pilipino. Granting that the nature of the fund is confidential and recognizing Memorandum Circular Number 15, 2023, relating to the privileged communication. Ang tanong po, Madam Chair, when there is notice of disallowance na nagsasabing ang 72 million out of 125 million na confidential fund ay hindi nagamit ng naaayon sa Joint Circular Number 15-01. And as a matter of fact, ipinababalik ng COA sa pamahalaan. Ang tanong, confidential fund pa po ba ang tawag dito? Privileged communication pa din po ba ang saklaw nito? Oo po, at tatahimik na lang po ba ang Kongreso? I wish to share the case of Chavez versus Public Estates Authority.
Kindly wrap up.
This is the right of the people to information on matters of public concern. There is no argument ang pera ng gobyerno ay pera ng taong bayan. Unless the citizens have proper information, we cannot fulfill the constitutional mandate that public office is a public trust.